We got an email that came in over the break. Let's go ahead and put that up. Okay, this says, I hurt my back at my cousin's house because of loose boards on his back porch. His family is not wealthy, and I don't want to sue him or anything, but I can't afford my medical bills. How should I handle this situation? That's from Sam. Hey, Sam, that's a good question. I mean, I know a lot of times people say, well, you know, I don't want to hurt anybody, but I've got these bills. You know, I can't afford them, or you know, I've got a giant deductible on my health insurance, and so I'm having to come out of pocket. What are my options? And there's actually a couple of them between claims and insurance benefits. So why don't you go ahead and walk Sam through what he can do?
Correct. So the big thing, we always look for insurance first. We don't, generally speaking, we don't sue people to try to get money out of their own pocket. We're suing people because people buy insurance because sometimes these types of things happen. In that situation, if I get hurt at Les's house and I sued him, his insurance company is coming in and, you know, defending him, paying any claims that are made. But on property, there's two types of coverages that are applicable. One, it doesn't really matter what happened. It's called medical payments coverage. Most homeowners policies have these types of benefits. A lot of businesses do. Some are self-insured, say they don't. But medical payments benefits basically say there's a cap. It's either $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000. If you're hurt on their property, then you just submit medical bills. They'll pay them or reimburse you. That is no-fault coverage, essentially. And if it's a minor incident where, you know, you go to urgent care, go to physical therapy for a couple weeks, then they're going to pay all your bills and you're fine. If it's more serious, or you have, you know, I don't know the back injury, but back injuries can be pretty significant. Right. If your cousin has homeowners insurance, there's something called general liability coverage, where if they were aware of this dangerous condition with the boards and didn't warn you or, you know, fix them, then you have a claim against the insurance company. Now, we do run into situations where insurance companies deny claims and we have to file a lawsuit. Right. So there's always the chance you're filing a lawsuit against your cousin, but when that happens, if they have homeowners insurance, the insurance company hires an attorney. Right. And so that's why people have insurance, and I tell my clients that all the time because our clients hate opening up claims on their own insurance when they're not at fault. Right. But that is why you pay your premiums. That's why the person who's responsible pays their premiums, because sometimes people mess up and hurt somebody, and that's what the insurance is for. Right, and it kind of goes back to something we talked about earlier in the show when Dan called in. Comparative fault is going to be an issue in this situation. You're talking about your cousin's house and loose boards. One of the reasons why an insurance company might end up denying the claim is because they think you bear responsibility, or you may bear all the responsibility for it, and then it gets into a factual analysis. So you might expect to get questions in a deposition like, well, how many times had you been there before? No, that's the big thing. And how many times, is this the first time you ever walked on this? Have you seen these loose boards before? You know, if this is the first time, brand new, you walk out, you step, the board's rotted, your foot goes through, okay, that's one thing. If it's a, man, when are you going to fix these crappy boards that have been, you know, warped and everything for the last 5 years that you've known about? You know, that's going to be a pretty difficult sell for a jury, because they're going to say, well, wait a minute, you knew about it, so why'd you walk on it? And again, that is those simple, common sense type defenses, just like on the plaintiff side, the very simple, common sense allegations are the ones that seem to resonate, because we all can kind of sit there and go, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, you know, versus, you know, I'm going to dazzle you with a bunch of big legal jargon, and then you're going to sit there and go, what did he just say? Oh, wait, you saw it. It was open and obvious. So, you know, it's very fact dependent on a lot of those types of cases. But yeah, I mean, there are ways that you could look to where it potentially wouldn't cost your cousin or family members anything. You would just have to understand that if you did file a lawsuit, you would have to name the individual, not the insurance company. Florida law does not allow you to sue somebody else's insurance company. You can sue your own insurance company because you have a contract with them, and it's a breach of contract case. But I cannot, if I get in a wreck with Brian, I can't sue Brian's insurance company. I have to sue Brian. And then Brian's insurance company steps in, hires him a lawyer, pays for the defense, pays my damages up to his policy limits, whatever those may be. And that's not the same in every state. I know sometimes we do handle cases outside the state of Florida. Right. And sometimes you are able to sue the at-fault party and their insurance company. So in Florida, there's a bunch of rules about, you know, what a jury can hear. If you say the word insurance, it can cause a mistrial. It could potentially result in a mistrial. Where whether or not somebody has insurance shouldn't decide the value of your claim or what a jury could award you. That's why. But but they also want to know who's paying. Because if you have, my grandma who, causes a wreck, everybody's looking at her like she's going to have to pay tens of thousands of dollars, and juries might be hesitant to do that.
Sure.
So that's part of our calculation when we're figuring out who to pursue. Sometimes it's better if we can sue an insurance company like my own insurance company or a corporation, to where juries don't really bat an eye at awarding something significant when somebody's hurt very bad.
Right.